Taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to reach the arms up nice and tall for the stretch through the spine. Take the head up towards the ceiling. Feeling that stretch, bring the hands down to the heart. We're going to start to bend the knees and fold forward. Bring the hands down towards the mat. I'll turn myself around. Start to straighten the legs, half lift. Fold forward. Taking hold of the elbows, just sway from side to side. Half lift, look forward, feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Bend the knees, we're swinging into chair. Firing up those legs. Hold, reach it forward. Folding forward, taking the hands down to the mat. We're going to start to straighten the legs. If you need to come to half lift, come to half lift, or you can keep those fingertips towards the mat. Or just interlace and lock those fingers around the toes as you feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Start to bend the knees, place the hands down to the mat. We're stepping into a plank position. Draw the belly button in. Taking a few rounds of breath. Press back to downward facing dog. Pedal those feet. Start to bend the knees. Press back for the stretch in the back of the legs. Bend the knees. Stretch it back. We're going to move into plank. Draw the belly button in. Press back to downward facing dog. Into plank. We're firing up the belly. Press back to downward facing dog. Into plank. We're going to come all the way down, chaturanga. Lift up through the spine. Take it to wherever feels comfortable for you. You don't have to lift as high. Always listen to your body. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Move to plank. Slowly lower. Cobra or up dog. Listen to your body. Downward facing dog. Take the right leg up. Going to bend the knee, open the hip towards the side. Keeping the upper body just nice and even on the mat. You're going to bring that back. Knees coming towards that right elbow. Hold for a few breaths. Step that foot down to the mat. Slide the left foot back. We're going to drop the left knee to the mat. Start to press up through the chest, drawing up. Holding here for a moment. Feeling the stretch into the hips. You're going to start to tuck the toes, lift it up. Lifting through the chest. We're going to start to rise up with the hands all the way up. Into crescent pose. Really feeling that stretch into the legs. Breathing here. Hands to heart. Press through the chest. We're going to take a few rounds of breath. Really feel the stretch into the hips. Lower that knee down to the mat. Tuck the toes. Feel the stretch again coming up through the chest. Tuck the toes. We're coming back to downward facing dog. Press it back. Left leg's going up. Bend the knee. Open the hip up to the side. Belly button's coming towards the wall. Hands are even. Back to center. Bring that knee in towards the left elbow. Step it down to the mat. Sliding the foot back. Lifting up through the chest. Breathing here. Start to tuck the toes. We're going to bring ourselves all the way up, pressing into that leg, reach it up. Breathing here. Hands down in front of the heart, pressing the chest out. Lower the knee down. Hands to mat. Lift up again through the chest. Start to Tuck the toes at the back, drawing the knees, stepping back to downward facing dog. Pressing through the heels. Drawing into plank, holding there in plank position. Press it back. Again, moving into plank. And press it back. Draw the right leg up, point the toes. Feel the stretch from the hip, really reach up. Draw that knee down to the mat. We're coming into pigeon pose, lifting up through the chest. Breathing here. Lift the head up towards the ceiling. Gently start to lower the head down towards the mat. Reaching up, pressing the head up. Again, lower down. Gently pressing up on those fingertips. Spread the fingers on the mat. We're coming back to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes at the back. Pressing all the way back. Feel the stretch in that position. The left leg's coming up. Point the toes. Really feel that stretch from the hip. Draw the knee down to the mat. Flatten the toes at the back. Lift up through the chest. Holding here for a moment. Staying to the fingertips. We're just going to lower the head down towards the mat. Again, pressing up through the chest, lift it up. Feeling that stretch in the lower back into the glutes and the hips. Head comes down. Again, lifting up, pressing through the chest. Fingertips to the mat. Spreading those fingers back to downward facing dog. Pressing through the backs of the legs. We're going to start to literally squat the knees above the mat. Feel the stretch in those legs. Press back. Again, bending the knees. Press it back. Breathing here. Take the right leg up. You're going to draw that right knee in towards the elbow. And take it back. Press the toes up. Again, in towards the elbow. Take it back. Then we're going to step that right foot to the top of the mat. Finding your position. We're going to draw all the way up into a high lunge. Bring it in to warrior one. Flip that back foot. We're going to draw it into warrior two. I'm going to move on my mat so you can see me. So keeping that stance nice and wide. The knee should be just above the toes. You're going to start to lean forward. Arms going to rest. You're going to reach over through the obliques. Stretching through the side of the body. Reverse it back. Pressing up with the right hand. Come back to warrior two. Nice and strong. Reverse that leg. Reach the arms up again. Into warrior one. We're going to bring those hands down to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Find that position there. Again, bend the knees. Pressing back through the backs of the legs. Bend the knees. Press it back. Bring the left leg up, point the toes. Draw the knee in towards the elbow. Back out, press the toes up. In towards the elbow. Take it up. We're going to step that foot forward on the mat. Find that position. Draw yourself all the way up. Reach the hands up. Breathing here. Flip the back foot. We're going to draw it into warrior two. Again, I'll move myself on the mat so you can see me. Nice stretch into those hips. Start to bring it forward. Reach through the obliques. Reverse it back, reach through the left side of the body. Draw the hands back into warrior two, nice and strong. Flip those legs, reach it up. Bring the hands down to the mat. We're going to step back to downward facing dog. Again, find that position for you. We're going to move into plank. And draw it back into downward facing dog. Into plank. Draw it back to downward facing dog. And we're just going to hold here for a moment. Taking the gaze back towards the ankles or the shins, just breathing here. If you need to soften the knees, that's absolutely fine. Just breathing here for a moment. Slowly start to lower yourself down onto your knees. We're going to press back into child's pose, and we're just going to take a few rounds of breath, lowering the head down to the mat, reaching the hands away from you, walking them away. Just breathing here for a moment. Bring the arms down by the side. You're just going to take the elbows to the mat, and you're going to interlace the fingers or take them into prayer just above the head. Just sinking the head into the mat. If this doesn't feel right for you, just stay in child's pose, but just with the hands a little bit more relaxed to the side. Just breathing here for a moment. Relax the hands down. If it's comfortable, we're going to rock to the top of the head. Bring the hands behind the back and just reach through the shoulders. Just breathing here for a moment. Just flowing with the breath, feeling the stretch in the shoulders. Slowly take it down. We're going to come up into position on our knees. Hands behind the back, press through the chest. Feeling squeeze in the shoulders. When you're ready, we're going to bring the feet out in front. Reach up nice and tall and start to fold forward, stretching through the legs. Take the hands to wherever feels comfortable for you. It could be the ankles or the shins. Feeling the stretch. Slowly coming up, taking the hands by the side, lifting through the chest, nice and tall. Take a few rounds of breath. Taking the hands behind the back, we're going to reach up, lifting the upper body. With stretch into the shoulders. Take it down, roll forward. Seated, lift it up. Pressing through the chest. Take a couple of breaths and the hands come behind the back and you're going to lift up. Slowly, slowly take it down. Come into that seated position. Lift it nice and tall. You're going to take a few breaths. And then slowly just start to bend the knees. Take the hands just to the knees. We're going to walk them in. Take a nice deep breath in, lift up. Deep breath out, take it down. Deep breath in, lifting up. Deep breath out, take it down. Deep breath in, lift, take the hands away. We're going to take it down, we're going to hold. With a burn in the belly, just feeling that abdominal area, just burn, just holding there. Reach it up, take the hands behind the legs. We're going to come into boat pose, so you can have the knees bent, you can have the knees straight. Take the hands away or hold on to the legs, whatever feels right for you this morning. Just breathing here. Rest it down. Breathe in, lifting up. Breathe out. We're going to take it down, we're going to hold, but we're rolling through the spine and just holding onto the knees. So you're feeling that stretch all the way up into the neck. Then slowly start to bring yourself down. Reaching the arms up above the head. Keeping those knees bent. Reaching up into a crunch. Holding here for a moment, bringing the arms up and over, interlace the fingers for a moment, reaching through the upper body. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug and just gently rock from side to side. those legs down, arms up, stretch all the way along the spine now. And relax it down. Bring yourself into Savasana. Palms up towards the ceiling, roll the shoulders away. Relax the ankles down. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Gently flowing with the breath. Feeling the chest just naturally rise and fall. Concentrating on the cool air that's flowing in and the warm air that's flowing out. Just taking a moment here just to really concentrate on that breath. Give those weird wiggle of the fingers and toes, bringing yourself into the room and just taking a moment here. You may want to bring yourself into a bit of a meditation, or just whenever you're ready, just very slowly bring yourself up.